Yo, we back on here. Camera's still not working. I'm gonna have to order me a new one. But anyways, I tried to do this video like twice on Restream. I've been using Restream.io, but it kept saying the servers were like uh too much stuff was going on. I don't know. I ain't never seen that message before. But anyways, I'm ready to get right into this video. Here we go.
Remember when Marvel games used to be everywhere? Well, that era's coming back. Faster than anyone expected. What to do, Durag Nation? Forget superhero fatigue and game cancellations. Just in the next year, there are 10 superhero games coming out, and half of them are from Marvel. The MCU might be shaky, but the future of superhero games is not, as there are some potentially all-time classic Marvel games arriving so fast, they could have saved Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. So today, I'm going over 8 of those Marvel games that need to be on your radar in 2025 and beyond. All confirmed, no rumors. So if you're excited for new Marvel games to play, Hulk smash that hype button to share the news, or leave a dislike if they're all trash. We're starting in the Big 2-5 with some sweet nostalgia for all the unks out there, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. If you ever put a quarter into an arcade machine, or want a fun action game you can play with your friends, this is for you. Developed by Tribute Games, the geniuses behind Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, this brings back the glory of 90s arcade action. Marvel Cosmic Invasion recently shadow dropped a free demo on PC while revealing Black Panther and Ghost Rider will be joining an already impressive 15 character roster that includes Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Silver Surfer. Thanks to the demo, data miners found out that the roster will also include Iron Man and Phoenix. The game supports both single player and 4-player co-op locally and online. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is expected to release on pretty much every platform except Google Stadia before the year is over. Meanwhile, breaking the fourth wall in November is everyone's favorite mercenary, Deadpool. This will be the first solo Deadpool game in more than 10 years, but some people are sleeping on this because it's in VR. Arkham Shadow was surprisingly one of the best games of 2024, and Marvel's Deadpool VR looks to be a worthy follow-up that similarly has combat and movement you would expect to see in a third-person AAA action game. Everything you love about Deadpool, the violence, the humor, the women, are all here and brought to life by Neil Patrick Harris. Deadpool is taken to Mojo World, home of the popular X-Men villain Mojo, and is forced into a multiverse-hopping quest to kidnap villains for his new reality show, including Omega Red and Mephisto. You'll be shooting, stabbing, and using your own severed arm as a weapon exclusively on the MetaQuest 3 and 3S on November 18th. Both those games will be a lot of fun, but 2026 has the potential to be the best year in the history of superhero games. Marvel plays a huge role in that with these 3 highly anticipated AAA games, all of them with Game of the Year potential. Fans sad about the Black Panther game being canceled by EA won't have to cry for long, as the year is supposed to start off with Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This story-driven World War II action game from Uncharted creator Amy Hennig was supposed to launch in 2025, but was delayed to early 2026. A lot of the game was a mystery besides the beautiful story trailer revealing all 4 of the characters you'll be playing as, until a new leak gave us our first look at gameplay. Even though the leaked footage was from early in development and was, of course, nuked off the internet by Marvel's lawyers, it showed off some of the coolest superhero combat we've seen since Web of Shadows. Now, fans won't be forced to fire up Marvel's Avengers in order to feel like Captain America or Black Panther. The official gameplay trailer didn't show up during the recent State of Play or New York Comic Con, so all eyes will be on the Game Awards in December, where we should be getting a release date and pre-order information, since early 2026 means they're targeting between January and April, so the marketing better start soon if they want to dodge GTA. Fighting game fans are also feasting in 2026 with Marvel took on Fighting Souls from the legendary Arc System Works, the studio behind modern classics like Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ. This launches exclusively on PS5 and PC, and like the massively successful Marvel Rivals, is bringing the Eastern anime style to your favorite Marvel heroes, which has a pretty interesting roster so far that includes Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and Doctor Doom. A closed beta was held in September that I sadly could not get into, but the people that did couldn't stop stopped glazing how it was both approachable for more casual fighting game fans while offering a ton of skill expression for veterans. But by far, the most hyped superhero game of the year comes from, of course, Insomniac Games. They gave us some of the best superhero games of all time with their Spider-Man series, and now, despite being hit with one of the worst cyber attacks of all time, they're ready to drop Marvel's Wolverine only 3 years after the launch of Spider-Man 2. Their 5th game in only 8 years, confirming they only hire actual superheroes to work at this studio. Wolverine will be Logan's first solo game since the iconic X-Men Origins, and the new gameplay trailer confirms the Insomniac version will be just as brutal as that one, with a guaranteed M rating. Wolverine is on a personal mission to recover his lost memories, which will take him across Madripoor, Canada, and Japan to battle some of the most iconic villains from the X-Men series, including Omega Red and the Sentinels. This will be a semi-open world action game, closer to God of War Ragnarok than Spider-Man 2, so expect a more story-focused game without the usual open world filler we've come to expect, which works just fine for me. Wolverine is dropping exclusively on PS5 in the fall of 2026, and you can wishlist it right now in the store. Wolverine will also have some sort of showcase in the spring of that same year. It's worth mentioning Insomniac might also be revealing another of their upcoming Marvel games at this showcase, a spin-off starring Venom, which is rumored to be launching in 2027 with the PlayStation 6. Venom technically isn't confirmed though, since we only know about it from the same insiders who also knew when Wolverine would be launching. But a 2027 game we can confirm is Marvel's Blade. The Daywalker is finally stepping into the spotlight with his own mature, single-player third-person action game. Marvel's Blade is being developed by Arcane Leon, the studio behind the Dishonored series and Deathloop. After the reveal trailer at the Game Awards, they've been building hype by releasing concept art, and so far it looks like their signature, more cartoony art style is a perfect fit for a game based on a comic book character. Marvel's Blade is set in a quarantine section of Paris where a supernatural emergency has flooded the city with vampires. As Blade, you'll be hunting them down, but according to leaks, how you battle the vampire threat will impact the story, since Arcane is said to be bringing back a version of the morality system they used in their Dishonored games, which makes the story both more personal and adds a lot more replay value, since you'd be able to unlock different outcomes by changing your decisions on extra playthroughs. Marvel's Blade is being published by Xbox, but in case you missed all the news the last few years, that basically means Blade will be releasing on all major platforms and the much more expensive Game Pass. According to Arcane's financial reports, they are targeting November of 2027 for the release. But Blade isn't the only massively popular Marvel hero with a solo game potentially launching in 2027. We could be getting Marvel's Iron Man. Motive Studios, the talented team behind the Dead Space remake, is hard at work on a single-player, third-person, open-world action game starring Tony Stark. The game was first leaked by Jeff Grubb back in 2022, but despite having a playtesting phase not long after the official announcement, we still don't know much about the game and haven't even gotten a teaser trailer. Most of the new info we know about Iron Man has come from official job listings, which is how we know it's being built in Unreal Engine 5. One very unfortunate piece of news came from Insider Gaming, who revealed that EA's decision to force Motive Studios to help with the development of Battlefield 6 caused a slowdown in the game's development, which is why I think a 2027 or 2028 release window seems more likely than the originally leaked 2025 or 2026. Fans were also worried Iron Man was going to be canceled like the Black Panther game, but EA confirmed Iron Man is safe for now, and they plan to release at least 2 other Marvel games after Iron Man, though I'm sure the future of those games will depend heavily on the amount of success Motive has with their Tony Stark simulator, especially because of EA's new ownership. If the release of Marvel's Iron Man slips into 2028, that's going to make it an insane year for superhero fans, because that's when we can expect Insomniac's highly anticipated sequel, Marvel Spider-Man 3. So far, Insomniac has separated each of their mainline Spider-Man games by 5 years, and lead voice actors Yuri Lowenthal and Najee Jeter have confirmed the game is in development, which we also knew thanks to the 2023 cyber attack on the studio. Fortunately, the criminals weren't able to get any important details on the game. The voice actors didn't reveal too much since they're afraid of those Marvel SWAT teams, though I was happy to learn Miles will not be returning with the Adidas suit in Spider-Man 3. But we do know a decent amount of what to expect based on Spider-Man 2. Peter is on a temporary break to help get his life together so he doesn't end up living on the street, while Miles is protecting the city as the main Spider-Man. But he'll be joined by new hero and potential stepsister, Cindy Moon, the Korean spider hero in the comics known as Silk. Though we can safely assume Insomniac will avoid the whole pheromone thing that makes Cindy and Peter want to get sticky whenever they're in the same room. Spider-Man 3 is also setting up the long-awaited debut of the Green Goblin, after it was revealed Norman Osborn was so angry that Spider-Man couldn't save the world from Harry without putting him in a coma. He visited Dr. Octavius in prison to find out his identity. Doc Ock, though, wants nothing to do with Norman, but did reveal he's got his own plans to deal with Spider-Man, a final chapter, if you will, which is of course a reference to a very crazy comic book storyline involving Green Goblin, magic, and a secret society that I'm sure Insomniac will change a lot to fit their own story. Norman was also able to finish the Goblin Serum, which he intends to give to his son, but I'm assuming he'll end up taking it himself for one reason or another, and that will be how he transforms. But one of the things fans have been wondering about Spider-Man 3 is what Insomniac will do with Carnage. Insomniac was planning 2 major story DLCs for both Beetle and Carnage, but appears to have canceled them due to the cyber attack and the need to make sure they don't fall behind schedule on Wolverine. But that doesn't mean we won't see this content again. Data miners found cut content in the files for Spider-Man Remastered that didn't make it into the game, like Lizard, who we of course know ended up being a villain in Spider-Man 2. So we should expect Beetle to end up in Spider-Man 3, while Carnage might be moved to their Venom game as the final boss, or used as DLC for Spider-Man 3 instead. But I highly doubt both are truly canceled. Speaking of canceled, crazy people actually thought PlayStation was shutting down Insomniac's Wolverine game. Unfortunately though, a lot of potentially incredible superhero games never made it into the hands of players, but there is still hope that we see some of them again. I broke down 7 of them. Click the video on screen.
Oh, that one looks cool. I might check that one out next. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all for joining in. We out.